Hi, this is Justin for CGT345, and this week I had to create an environment based off generalized anxiety. The definition of anxiety I chose was not so much an anxiety attack, but the feeling of fear and uncomfortableness. And I also took ideas from clinical anxiety, such as the feeling of being extremely self conscious and alone. I tried to tie this into the scene by making the player feel extremely small and self conscious. I looked at games like Hellblade and Bloodborne, which both have a really interesting horror aesthetic, and particularly Bloodborne, where I cribbed this color scheme off of. I also looked at Hellblade, which uses these sharp spikes to emphasize the player's mental state. This is something that I've also seen in Naughty Dog games and a lot of movies where they've used these sharp angles to create a sense of dread or danger in the scene. The scene is inspired by cosmic horror, which focuses on the insignificance of the protagonist as well as the indifference of the universe. So I wanted the player to feel especially small through the size of the judges and the scene. So the judges are arranged really high above the player in these concentric circles, and they also get bigger as you go out in distance. These judges are also dwarfed by the obelisks, which is meant to make the scene feel bigger and make the players feel smaller, as the judges aren't even the biggest thing in the scene. The obelisks are also intended to break up the symmetry and the shape of the silhouettes and also create a sense of danger and uncertainty and to make the environment more alien. So I used this lighting and fog to create this sort of this red and black aesthetic of the scene. So this directional light creates a light shaft that shines directly onto the player, which makes the silhouette of the chief judge really broken up, and it also adds a little more animation and movement to the scene. I also wanted the fog to create a more ethereal look to the scene, and this is also emphasized with the light shafts. Again, I used spotlights like last week's composition, which I feel like have more direction and they work better, much better than point lights for creating such a high contrast scene as this.